the same list as we did with the NBA, where we have a top 10 most valuable. I'll ring off my honorable mentions. I have Mark Stone at 13th. It's a tightly packed list. I wasn't quite ready to put him in there. I don't think his offense has been there. He's come up in clutch moments.
Yeah.
You can always get solid defense. I will say, and not a lot of people realize this, he's a smidge overrated defensively because of his takeaway numbers.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it. As a shutdown forward, yes, he's got the takeaway numbers, but that's like his specialty. Like Patrice Bergeron's a faceoff man. Patrice is a little more rounded.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's why I have him so low. And it's just that he's a smidge overrated. I have Marc-Andre Fleury.
At 12.
At 12.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tough to say because Vegas was coming off a long series against Minnesota, and when they played Leonard in game 1 against Colorado, they got rocked. I don't know if that was because Leonard was in net or because they were tired. Probably a bit of both. Leonard was cold. And it's tough with goalies in these playoffs. At this point, if you have to switch your goalie, unless you're the Islanders, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, the top 3 should be goalies if we're being very technical about it, but I just don't have it like that yet. And my last player is Braden Point. I think he's laying back. He can step up if he needs to.
But he doesn't have to.
But he doesn't have to. Tampa's that good.
Yeah. When you get Kucherov and Stamkos coming back off the injured reserve for the playoffs, it's a lot of these guys that got them there don't have to be as good anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, they can kind of relax some. But again, Point's got the poise. They all have the poise. This team won the cup last year. Yeah. There hasn't been much turnover.
No.
They can do it again. They know what they need to do, and if they need to step up, if they need to pull up their pants, they will.
Yeah.
The Islanders are forced to be reckoned with. They're a good team, but Tampa got them last year, and I think they very well can do it again. Who do you have do you have any honorable mentions?
I guess a name that you didn't mention on there. I have Philippe Deneau as an honorable mention. I thought it was tough. I wanted to put him in. But I just look at some other aspects of Montreal. Yeah. And I think they're a bit more important.
Okay.
Judging by your reaction, I feel like you have him a lot higher than I do. Philippe Deneau would probably be he's the only honorable mention I thought of. I really wanted to put him on this list. I could make the argument for him at 10. But I don't know. I just think there's a lot of guys on Montreal who play a two-way game that he does.
No problem.
I think Scheifele shouting him out in his little hissy fit he had definitely helped give some attention to his name. Deneau's a great player, but
so who do you have at 10?
Matthew Barzal.
Okay, Matthew Barzal didn't make the list for me.
Someone if in terms of value, if someone needs to step up for them to have a chance to beat Tampa, Matthew Barzal is kind of their unofficial leader. He's their best player. He came up in some big moments against that Boston series to sink them in the third period in multiple games.
I actually have 2 guys from the Islanders who I'll get to that I deem more important right now. So Barzal is very important to that team, but I kept him off the list because I felt they were doing it without him. But it's kind of like the Sidney Crosby case where teams that played them, the reason why he won the Conn Smythe without being their leading scorer is you shut down Crosby and your other guys can thrive. Yeah. That's the only argument I can make for Barzal right now is once the attention goes towards him so your other guys can thrive. Yeah. At 10, it's tough with Tampa because they're so deep. Really, the only player they can't win without is Vasilevsky. But I have Steven Stamkos at 10.
Okay, he did not make my list.
It was tough for me, but his scoring's been that good. Yeah. Can they win without him? I think they can. They did it last year. They can do it again. Yeah. But he's been playing phenomenally. And if Steven Stamkos does get hurt, you have to bank on Point stepping it up, which isn't a certainty. Yeah. No, it's true. He can, but it doesn't mean it will happen. Yeah. Who do you have at 9?
Nikita Kucherov.
Okay.
And ideally, you look at the list here, and Kucherov might be the most talented player on this, it left in the NHL.
Kucherov currently, since McKinnon got knocked out,
and McDavid.
Sadly, well, yeah. now, but
McDavid's the best player on the planet.
Okay, yes,
that's
what
I'm saying.
Obviously,
that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Kucherov is
McKinnon won, or sorry. Oh, I don't know if we want to get into that debate. I was gonna say McDavid won, McKinnon too. Okay, McKinnon and McDavid are the top two because they're you can't. Okay. Some people debate. Well, okay, that's not what we're talking about. We're not doing sorry, that slipped out today. So you have Kucherov at 9. I agree. He is the most talented offensive player in the NHL in the playoffs right now.
It's like the same thing. It's the same argument you made for Stamkos, and when talking about Braden Point, like they've got so many offensive weapons that they made it here without Kucherov. I think he certainly makes their power play absolutely lethal. You cannot take a penalty against Tampa Bay because they will score.
Yeah.
He's got 18 points through 2 rounds. It's just ridiculous what he's doing.
Yeah, you look at the scoring on Tampa, it's outside of Kucherov, it evens out pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at 9 I have Vasilevsky.
Okay.
And this is tough ranking goaltenders on this list because I believe in terms of value, Carey Price is the most valuable goalie because if he goes down, Montreal's out. Easily. Mm-hmm. Then Vasilevsky, he goes down and they have to go to McElhinney.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna win a series. I don't think they're gonna win against the Islanders.
Yeah.
And then if Fleury goes out, as great as Leonard is, he's cold.
Yeah.
Montreal takes out Vegas. The only team that can rotate their goalies is because they've proven to do so. The Islanders, because they have Sorokin and Varlamov, Barry Trotz, and a fantastic system.
Yeah.
Where they can move. It's a bunch of moving pieces.
Yeah.
Right? They build their team like a car. Like they manufacture that team to change parts and do what it needs to do on the fly. Yeah. That's why they're so successful with a weak roster on paper.
Yeah, it's not the strongest.
So that's why I have Vasilevsky at 9, because in terms of how he's playing, I feel like there are players playing better than him.
Yeah.
And it kind of strays away from value, but I had to draw a line somewhere in terms of where to rank goalies. Mm-hmm. Anyways, number 8, who do you have?
Tyler Toffoli. Tyler Toffoli has been the unofficial scoring threat on this team. Mm-hmm. I think he's making the likes of Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki a whole lot better, having a guy like that playing with them. Mm-hmm. He's got 10 points so far. Time and time again, he's come up late in games, has had clutch winners for them. I think that's what they're going to need playing Vegas. They're going to need that sort of clutch play. I'm going with Tyler Toffoli, as he's almost the unofficial leader of the forwards, and he's very much making Vancouver regret not trying to make space for him.
Yes,
Vancouver fans do not like this right now.
Oh, Vancouver didn't like losing him to begin with.
No.
At what number are we at? 8?
8. Yeah. Who do you have at 8?
I have Josh Bailey.
Okay.
Which he's just been the Islanders' version of Tyler Toffoli.
Yeah. No,
their clutch scorer. When they need a goal, he shows up, and he does so in a defensive system where guys aren't supposed to score.
Tristan Jarry knows what it's like for Josh Bailey to pull up. He's helped him out.
Yeah, helped him out. He has.
Tape to tape.
Who do you have at 7?
Yeah, you're not going to like this. I got Mark Stone at 7.
Mark Stone.
I know you think of him as overrated defensively.
It's not terribly overrated. If you call him the best defensive forward in the league.
He's not. No.
That's all I'm saying. He's not. He's not the defensive.
He's one of them, but he's not.
Like Selke, I think he should be at the very least top 10, top 5, but I'd put him in the 4 to 10 range.
Okay.
I don't generally.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a perennial Selke winner or even a perennial Selke nominee.
Yeah.
If it's just defensive forwards, because you do have to include offense when you talk about it, but strictly defense.
I think Mark Stone has done enough offensively. I mean, you look at his plus minus, he's a +5 right now. Like his line is playing very well. And also being Vegas is not unofficial leader, their official leader. You know, he's got the C on their jersey. Yep. I think the way the team hockey that Vegas plays, I think that is just like they need someone. I think there are players that are better than Mark Stone. And, you know, judging by my list here, I have other Vegas players higher than him. Yep. But Mark Stone is Mark Stone, I think defensively is their leader. I think he's a better two-way guy than William Karlsson. So I'm going to say, like, when it comes to two-way forwards, he's leading the forward core defensively. So yeah, I think Mark Stone, without Mark Stone, they're not where they need to be right now. And I don't think that they can stop the line that is, that power line in Colorado, which they did. So,
yeah, shutting down the power line was really an effort on all players.
It was an effort on all fronts, but they were the ones that were called upon to do it in the tough spots.
Sure. At 7, I have his teammate William Karlsson.
Okay.
Because he's scoring better than Stone.
Okay.
I believe he's leading them in scoring. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And defensively, he's not as good as Stone because Stone's fantastic on the takeaway range. But what he does with the heart he brings, you can't measure that in stats.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And that's been the case for Vegas as long as they've existed.
Yeah.
Vegas doesn't go anywhere without him, although he may not be their best player.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why Vegas doesn't go anywhere without Fleury. Robin Leonard's a fantastic goalie. He's arguably better.
Yeah.
But it's the heart they bring that kind of changes
the
way they play. And that's why I have him so high. And I understand, like, some people may not like that, but you can't measure what he does for that team.
No, you can't.
So who do you have at 6?
Shea Weber.
Okay.
Leading the defensive core in Montreal. Montreal has won their games with playing defense first. Carey Price is standing on his head, but he's also, there's a lot of times where he's not facing as many shots as he could be if they didn't have Shea Weber and company on defense there. And again, they're going to need that leadership now that they're playing the really hard match. They're not playing teams they played all year. They're going to Vegas to play, the second best team in the NHL.
I'll say now, sorry. What we're going to see now is who really was the best division, because these teams have not seen each other all year.
Yeah.
So now is the time to show, Vegas could flop because they got to beat up on the California teams in Arizona all season.
Yep.
Who knows? Maybe the Canadian division was tougher than it seemed.
St. Louis wasn't strong either at that 4 seed.
Yeah, St. Louis was not. So now we're really going to see who had the toughest route, and that's going to poise these teams through the playoffs. And even in the finals, it's going to be the same scenario where these teams have not played each other.
Yep.
Yeah, at 6, I have Philippe Deneau.
Okay.
He has 2 points, so you're like, forward at 2 points. How are they the 6th most important player to their team?
Yeah.
His defense has been phenomenal. If they lose him, they're not going anywhere. I like the Tyler Toffoli pick. It's just I feel like someone else may be able to step up, whereas nobody on Montreal can step into what Deneau's doing.
True.
And that's why I have him at 6. At 5, who do you have?
You're probably not going to like this. I have Jonathan Marchessault. And I have Marchessault because of the way that he closed out in Colorado.
Okay.
I think without him stepping up in Game 5, Game 4 he was big too. I think Game 4 is when he had the hat trick. And this isn't really for what he did in Minnesota, and I think that it's for what he did against Colorado.
Yeah.
I think a lot of his point production has come against Colorado. And I think that's what you have in Vegas, where I like your Karlsson pick. I don't have Karlsson on my list, but he could very well, from series to series, Mark Stone could move up to, maybe Mark Stone moves up to the top 4.
Their top 6 is really interchangeable.
It's you can put anyone
Tuck
in there.
on that list, Pacioretty on that list.
Tuck would be an important one too.
It's tough.
But I'm gonna go with Marchessault just because of the poise he showed against the President's Trophy winners in closing them out in 4 straight.
That's respectable. You said Barzal has been their best forward. Maybe so. Like, maybe they're just the teams are giving him the most attention.
With the Islanders.
The Islanders, yeah. So as Barzal's been getting shut down for the most part, because he should be scoring at a higher clip.
Yeah.
I feel like Jean-Gabriel Pageau has been their best forward, scoring-wise and defensively. I had Deneau ahead of him originally.
Okay.
But Pageau, if he wanted to, could play defense almost as well as Deneau. But offensively, he's obviously outdoing him a whole bunch.
Yeah.
And without him, he may be the one piece the Islanders can't replace as of now.
The Islanders past 2 years have been the kings of trade deadline acquisitions. It was Pajot last year, and Palmieri is having a great series this year. So
yeah, I almost had him on the list as well. But
yeah,
it's tough with a team like that where there's so many moving parts and anybody can step into any role, it seems.
Yeah.
Because Barry Trotz's system is that fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a good team to watch and learn from if you want to watch tactical hockey. Who do you have at 4?
At 4, this is where I have my first goalie, Andrei Vasilevsky. So I have Vasilevsky at 4. I think because we keep praising the offense that Tampa Bay has and the defensive abilities that Tampa Bay has.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go Vasilevsky at 4 because they don't win a series with Curtis McElhinney. They can win games. Yeah. They're talented enough that they can win games with McElhinney because I think McElhinney is also a competent enough backup. But Andrei Vasilevsky, especially against a well-oiled machine, like you keep saying in New York, they're going to need him because he's going to be pressured more than he's been pressured so far.
So
who do you have at
4? Yeah, I have Victor Hedman.
Okay.
Victor Hedman's the best defenseman in these playoffs. He's doing it injured. He's one of Tampa's best scorers, and he's putting up the most minutes on that team. It's no question to me who the best defenseman is. And along with Vasilevsky, Hedman and Vasilevsky may be the only players on Tampa they can't afford to lose.
No.
Individually, if they lose like Kucherov and Stamkos, okay. But if they lose one of Kucherov, Stamkos, or Point, they still have a shot.
Yeah,
they did it without Stamkos last year.
Yeah,
they're also 18 mil over the cap.
Yeah.
So 3, who do you have?
At 3, I have Alex Pietrangelo.
Okay.
And Alex Pietrangelo is doing it on both sides of the puck. Offensively, he's got 8 points for them. He's really distributing well with 7 assists, +5 rating right now, which also speaks to
fantastic goal last night. He was playing right wing.
It's just like you look at him all around, and he is leading that defensive team. Like he is what made Shea Theodore the top pairing defenseman, like the unanimous top pairing defenseman he is today. I think he's also going to become increasingly more valuable once you get into the semifinals and the cup finals, which I think that they can get to. He needs to be there, and he needs to take that experience with St. Louis and bring that to the table. That's why I put him at 3, and just the way he's played has just been phenomenal so far.
At 3, I have who you said and who we agree is the most talented player left in these playoffs, Nikita Kucherov.
Okay.
Fantastic scorer. Maybe he doesn't have to do much on the defensive end because they have such a deep, star-studded blue line.
Yeah.
Kucherov's just fantastic, and my Conn Smythe winner right now would be Kucherov because I don't see often the voters giving back-to-back Conn Smythe. I don't think Hedman's going to get it this year.
No.
Kucherov's just phenomenal. This is the guy that put up 130 points
in a shortened season.
Yeah. No.
Oh, his wasn't shortened.
No, it was regular season.
That's right.
But he was the first to do it in a long time.
Right. And their power play isn't what it is without Kucherov.
No.
Kucherov has made their power play to the point where don't show up if you're not ready to.
Kill. Don't take penalties.
No,
not against this team. So 2, I'm excited to hear your 2 pick. I'm almost certain we have the same number 1 pick. Who do you have at 2?
Victor Hedman.
Oh, okay.
This is where I have Victor Hedman.
Okay.
And I think Victor Hedman, the fact that he's doing this while he's injured is just phenomenal. And Victor Hedman is Tampa Bay's defense. Without Victor Hedman, they're giving up a lot of goals.
Oh, for sure.
Without him.
For sure.
And I think he takes a lot of the pressure off Vasilevsky, which keeps him fresh for what looks to be another cup run. So, Victor Hedman, I don't really think there's much you did a lot of explaining at 4 about Victor Hedman. So really, we're in agreement that he's up there. I have
for me, it was tough to pick Kucherov over him. It's just the offensive load Kucherov's producing is phenomenal. At 2, Victor Hedman's the better player, no question. But Montreal without Shea Weber,
okay,
not happening. And that's who I have at number 2. I'm not saying he's the best defenseman or the best player in these playoffs or the second best.
Yeah.
Because my number 1 pick is a goalie.
Mm-hmm. You don't say.
But Montreal without Weber, I don't think they get anywhere near where they are. He does have support in Sherratt and Petrie, who've been fantastic, but he's a leader. He's putting up numbers. He's putting up minutes. Like, what more do you want from him?
Yeah.
Fantastic player. Fantastic what he's doing. And I hope somehow, some way Montreal gets the cup with who's my Conn Smythe winner and who I believe you have at number 1.
Yeah.
Looking at your face.
Yeah.
Carey Price.
Yeah.
How
Carey Price is the greatest goalie in hockey right now.
Oh, he's been, but you wouldn't see it because of his regular season numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, playoff Carey is the best playoff player.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
In the NHL. He's won, 7 straight?
Yep.
He's above 930. He did so against Toronto. High octane offense Toronto.
Yep.
High octane offense Winnipeg.
Yep.
Swept Winnipeg.
Shuts them down.
What more do you want? Yeah, they were without Scheifele.
Yeah. But I mean, they still had
Kyle Connor.
They still had Nikolai Ehlers.
They had Blake Wheeler.
Yeah.
And they had that shutdown line in Cobb, Appleton, and Lowry.
Mm-hmm.
Winnipeg still without Scheifele. Well, okay, not without Scheifele, but they still have the deepest forward core in the NHL.
Yep.
They got swept.
And it's because Carey Price stood on his head again.